Hisarlik, northwestern Turkey. More than 3,000 years ago, this was the walled city of Troy. According to Greek mythology, Troy was the site of a horrific war between the Trojans and the Achaeans that was manipulated by the gods.
Thousands upon thousands of people died, and the city of Troy is totally destroyed. It's hard to imagine when you read stories like this of gods asking people to go to war or do things they wouldn't want to do. It's hard to imagine that they want what's best for us.
In my opinion, extraterrestrials are just like humans. So of course extraterrestrials also would take sides. They would take sides with certain people and make enemies with other people.
But when bad things happen to good people, does it suggest that alien visitors are capable of having evil intent? Or does it simply suggest the presence of bad aliens, as well as good ones?
You look back through these stories, some of which have to do with actual historical events that led to blood, guts, destruction, and you say to yourselves, maybe they don't want what's best for us. Maybe their values and concerns have absolutely nothing to do with ours.
Just like there are good people and bad people here on Earth, there's good and bad extraterrestrials out there. Not everything is hunky-dory out there. Good and evil permeates the entire universe. Yin and yang. There's a balance.
I'm not sure it's always that cut and dry. In the book of Exodus, some translations say an angel killed all the firstborn Egyptians. Some say that the Lord, and I put that in quotations, slaughtered the firstborn Egyptian sons. Hard to reconcile that, at least in my perspective, that a benevolent, loving God would have angels to slaughter innocents, to slaughter kids.
Half a world away from the Mediterranean, across the Atlantic, another massacre of innocents was said to have been directed by the gods. Tenochtitlan, Mexico. 500 years ago, this was the capital of the Aztec Empire. During the 15th century A.D., the high priest Tlacaelel claims to have received a command from the gods in the form of a dream. His people were to perform human sacrifices.
The Aztecs are like so many other civilizations on this planet. For them, dreams were the primary means of communication with the other world. So, interpreting the dreams was the central thing which the high priests had to do. Now the question is, why did he do this? Is this just something Tlacaelel invented, or is it really the fact that he had a dream whereby his new and brutal regime somehow had to be imposed upon his people?
But if, as ancient astronaut theorists maintain, there are malevolent gods or evil extraterrestrials, does that suggest we have something to fear? Or might the evil be found not in the message, but with the messenger?
The possibility that some messages that were sent by extraterrestrials have been received and misinterpreted is fairly large, because our ancestors thought that these messages were sent by godlike beings, by divine creatures, which they never were.
Now there's quite a bit of evidence, even contemporary, of people committing murders or about to commit murders who believe that either God spoke to them or something else. And we actually find in many cases that this is not the case, that this is delusion.
In the Bible's book of Genesis, God instructs Abraham to kill his only son, Isaac. But was this command really given by God? Or might Abraham have received multiple messages from more than one being?
Might it actually be an origin, a sort of conversation whereby Abraham and Isaac are not subjected to one deity but to more than one deity, giving them contradictory messages whereby one being might be saying, kill your son, and the other being might be saying, don't kill your son? Are we in fact maybe confronted with two warring civilizations or two warring tribes?
And I really do think that the gods, the extraterrestrials, knew 100% what they were doing. Just like when we arrive on a different planet and we achieve instant godlike status, we'll use that to our advantage. We're not going to say to them, oh, no, 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 we're like you. We'll say, yes, you obey us or else. And that is exactly what happened here on Earth 10,000 years ago.